Oh, yeah. Eat these all the time. It's,
Scrambled egg muffin.
it is Spam.
It's scrambled eggs and Spam luncheon meat on an English muffin. Scrambled egg muffin.
They like them, I like them, and one can's enough for the four of us. So, hey.
Get Spam luncheon meat or Spam light and you've got the scrambled egg muffin. The taste the whole country's waking up to.
Cool.
It is an experience above all else. It is Avalon. Toyota technology taken to a new level of excellence. A world of superior comfort, room, and refined driving performance. Avalon, the new flagship from Toyota. Built exclusively in America. Experience the tranquility.
People, listen up. We've got a red alert. Red alert. Every one of these babies needs to be shipped ASAP. Oh, this is the big one. Hold all calls. Put on a pot of Java and let's roll up our sleeves.
Introducing desktop shipping software from FedEx.
This is a time when few have got to do the work of many.
Now you can point, click, and ship everything right from your own computer.
It reminds me of the winter of '84.
Packages are ready to go. Should I tell him?
That's my little army.
It's warm enough. For free shipping software, call FedEx.
Ghost will continue.
On board the U.S. Navy's most lethal fighting machine,
We're here to preserve democracy, not to practice it.
one man was trained to follow orders,
The use of nuclear weapons has been authorized.
and another
If we launch, 1 billion people are going to die. I've made a decision.
had the courage to question them. Denzel Washington,
I'm assuming command of this ship.
Gene Hackman,
You're not assuming anything.
Lock him in his stateroom. I'm the commander of this ship now!
Crimson Tide. Rated R. Starts Friday, May 12th.
I think the average person is fairly trusting. You know, they're not going to inspect everything. I mean, I read every single label, you know. I'm very careful about what kind of sweetener I choose. I mean, the pink stuff, if you ever read this little label, it's got saccharin in it. There is no saccharin in Equal. It's real simple. This stuff tastes good. It's got no saccharin. I choose Equal.
You can also choose Equal Measure for recipes and pitchers of drinks. It's Equal in new bulk pouches.
It's at the country store at Fairhaven where good shopping is always found.
For 40 years, WCAX has promoted, supported, and encouraged Vermont business. With the Buy Vermont First campaign, we've shown that buying from locally owned companies is good for all of us because the dollar that's spent in Vermont stays in Vermont, improving our state's economy. Join us again this year in supporting Vermont's own. Look for this logo and Buy Vermont First.
Buy Vermont First salutes Bevins Marine and Gilmet's Nissan Volvo Jeep Eagle.
The town of Keneally had let Irish Spring borrow the scent of its waterfall for new waterfall clean.
So it'll leave you feeling as clean and sparkling as the waterfall itself. Irish Spring Waterfall Clean. It's new, it's blue.
And you'll like it too.
Hey, my hair's growing back. Buddy, you're alive. I lost 40 pounds.
Things just keep getting better. Now buy 2 Little Caesars Pleasers specialty pizzas loaded with cheese and toppings and get free crazy bread for only $9.98.
Pizza. I just didn't want to come home with a headache. Oh, I know headaches aren't contagious, but well, in a way they are. Because when I have one, my family feels it. But feeling good is contagious too. So when I get an intense headache, I count on Motrin IB. I first heard about it from our family doctor. Motrin IB works really fast on my headaches. Before you know it, I'm feeling better. And you know what? They feel better too.
Motrin IB. The pain stops here.
Did you ever wonder what life is like on other planets? Like maybe there's this world where everybody can slam dunk? And everyone gets a Ford Ranger just for being born. Or there's a planet where nothing costs more than $1 and your biggest decision is what color probe to drive. Maybe there's a world where everybody's job is just to go to the beach and you get a Mustang convertible as a company car. Ford. Cool cars for a cool planet.
She never thought their father would turn his back on them.
He said he would pay child support and he ran away.
She never thought she'd have to raise a family on her own.
This week, all new Daves with Will Smith, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Vince Gill, Samuel L. Jackson, Linda Ronstadt, Chris Farley, and Stevie Wonder. This week.
When parents work, the kids should help out at home. My son does the dishes. He's great at it. I can always count on him to do them right away, before any food dries on.
No matter who does the dishes, Cascade does the dirty work. Other leading brands can leave spots, so your dishes look dirty. Cascade with sheeting action gets them so clean, they're virtually spotless.
Perfect. Thanks to Mr. Dependable here.
Fruit and fiber can't hang out with ordinary cereals. So many flavors, it's one mixed up taste.
There it is.
All those juicy raisins and dates, it could go with the fruit. Then again, so many chunky walnuts, it could fit in here. But with toasty oat clusters and crispy flakes, it's so good, there's only one place for it. Post Fruit and Fiber cereal. One deliciously mixed up taste.
They were sworn enemies. The younger other woman, the ex-wife, or the deadly secret.
Why didn't you tell me, Tess?
What's going to happen to my girls?
What if the woman who seduced your husband
She broke up my marriage.
was the only woman who could save your children?
That woman is not capable of taking care of my children. She's everything I despise.
2 women must face the ultimate challenge or destroy a family.
And you're just going to have to trust me. Well, that's a problem because I don't trust you.
Jill Eikenberry and Melrose Place's Laura Layton, The Other Woman, next Sunday.
An ad for a roommate brought a stranger to her door.
When can you move in?
Someone she'll never forget.
Where the hell have you been?
Get rid of her. How can she lock the terror out when she's already invited it in? Bridget Fonda, Jennifer Jason Leigh, viewer discretion advised, single white female, Wednesday.
Stevie Wonder, Will Smith, Linda Ronstadt, and much, much more this week on The Late Show with David Letterman. Now, stay tuned for your local news.
This is the CBS Sunday Night News. Bill Plant reporting good evening. A nightmarish disaster in the Tokyo subway. At least 6 now dead and thousands injured or sick as the result of toxic fumes during the Monday morning rush hour. A government spokesman calls it a random mass attack. Tokyo police are calling it murder. Troops are being called in to assist in the emergency. Bruce Dunning has the latest in this still developing tragedy.
Fumes swept through the crowded subway system at the height of rush hour. Rescue crews had to carry scores of people from stations all over central Tokyo. A government spokesman called it a random mass attack. Coughing, gagging people collapsed on sidewalks outside subway stations as rescue workers tried to resuscitate the worst affected. One man said his head suddenly began to ache and he felt he was going blind. Passengers told police that a man left a lunchbox wrapped in a newspaper on a train and it started leaking fumes. The fumes quickly spread through the subway tunnels under Tokyo's financial and government districts. One Japanese news agency said police are now calling this a murder investigation. Worst hit was the station near the sprawling wholesale fish market. Rescue crews set up mobile clinics to handle the hundreds of people sickened or overcome by fumes. Police with gas masks headed into the subway station to look for the source of the fumes. It appears that the gas is a deadly nerve gas called sarin. It's the worst case of random violence that this normally peaceful city has ever experienced. And the most frightening aspect is there seems to be no reason for it. Bruce Dunning, CBS News, Tokyo.
Militant Palestinians from the Hamas faction are reportedly suspect in today's ambush of a bus carrying Jewish settlers outside Hebron. 2 people were killed and at least 5 wounded. A cabinet minister said this first major attack on Israelis in 2 months would not derail new autonomy talks. NATO warplanes increased their flights over Sarajevo today after a French aid plane was targeted by Serb mortar fire. In the city, more lethal sniper fire. 2 people were killed, a Bosnian soldier and another man shot while trying to rescue a sniper victim who'd been wounded. As just about everyone must know by now, Michael Jordan is back with the Chicago Bulls, and he played his first game today. Diana Olick reports.
His old number 23 stays in retirement, but after 17 months, the man on the inside is coming out.
I'm back playing a game that I truly love.
All it takes is one name to turn a mediocre midseason game into an international event.
Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, the basket.
And with that, the price of this average game against Indianapolis was spiked with Mike. Scalpers were getting between $250 and $1,500 a ticket, and the media hype was worthy of a world championship.
It means the best is back.
But is he better than ever?
This is utterly seamless for Jordan. Nothing like it that I can recall.
But the shots weren't all there, and the Bulls lost this one 96-103.
It was pretty disappointing from my standpoint, you know, and quite naturally, as a competitor that I am, I wanted to come out and do well.
When Michael Jordan decided to make his move, he sent out a fax which said simply, "I'm back." And even if being back means being just a little bit out of rhythm, Chicago's not missing a beat.
This is playing Michael Jordan to me. I love Jordan, and he's just so, handsome.
And I'm just so excited. It's going to be a fun next few months. It's going to be great. I can't wait.
And so Chicago's not going to wait around for baseball anymore. After all, this city got its legend back. The best thing to come out of the baseball strike yet. Diana Olick, CBS News, Chicago.
Still to come on the CBS Sunday Night News, it's March 19th. Do the people of San Juan Capistrano know where their swallows are?
Trying to figure out what to do with your retirement money? Well, with thousands of mutual funds to choose from, even experienced investors can be a bit overwhelmed. But the new Schwab no annual fee IRA can help, because now you can get Schwab's new Fund Map for Windows free and choose from a select list of mutual funds with proven performance. So, to make selecting mutual funds easy,
maybe it's time to come to Schwab.
I was so disappointed. Planning a big family vacation and not able to join in the fun because I felt irregular. I couldn't take a harsh chemical laxative.
This episode is entitled The Fresh Prince, the Seminarian, and the Boyfriend.
Whoa, Aesop Letterman.
With Will Smith, Vince Gill, and David Spade tonight.
Why do I think the Whopper just beat the Big Mac 2-to-1 in the taste test? We'll think about it.
The Whopper is one big, juicy, flame-broiled burger complemented by the perfect-sized bun.
The Big Mac, on the other hand, is stacked bread with 2 smaller fried burgers in between. Bun, burger, bun, burger, bun.
Say that 3 times fast.
Better yet, don't. You might sprain your tongue. And then how would you eat your Whopper?
The burger that beat the Big Mac. The Whopper Value Meal for $2.99 at Burger King.
The fun is straight ahead with Dave and his guests, Will Smith, Vince Gill, and a whole lot more on The Late Show with David Letterman. Now, your local news.
On tonight's Channel 3 Late News, the man chosen to head the Vermont State Employees Union is on trial in Virginia for racketeering and embezzlement. Terrorists strike with deadly nerve gas on a crowded subway in Tokyo, and the early spring warm-up creates hazards on Lake Champlain. Good evening, I'm Roger Garrity. The man selected to run Vermont's second largest union is currently on trial in Virginia, accused of embezzling millions of dollars from the union he used to work for. Leaders of the Vermont State Employees Association apparently didn't know that Alexander Gullison was facing the racketeering charges when they hired him to be their new executive director. Brian Joyce has more on the story.
They work hard to support their families.
This was Maritime Union President Eugene DeFries endorsing President George Bush for a second term in 1992. Today, DeFries is on trial in Washington, D.C. DeFries is accused of rigging a union election that guaranteed him more than $900,000 in severance pay. Trouble was, federal prosecutors say the severance pay was stolen from the union members with the help of several other union bosses, including a man named Alexander C. Cullison. We don't have pictures of Mr. Cullison, but he was selected last month to fill the post of executive director of the Vermont State Employees Union. Cullison was supposed to take the place of Tom Whitney, who was retiring after 13 years of respected service as the executive director of the state's second largest union. The union's elected president is Robert Hooper. He was on the 13-member panel that selected Cullison.
When did the union folks become aware of his legal problems? An indictment we were aware of after we had offered a job to him. Generally expect somebody to be forthcoming, and as we see with OJ, it's innocent until proven guilty, but I would have expected to have heard something about it before I read about it.
Now, most of the country has been reading about the federal indictments against Mr. Cullison and the other union bosses for almost 2 years. But Vermont's union officials were unable to explain to us why they didn't know before they hired Mr. Cullison. Brian Joyce, Channel 3 News in Burlington.
This evening, Alexander Cullison told us by phone that officials of the VSEA learned about his legal problems 3 weeks ago, and he promptly withdrew his acceptance of the job. But as of today, the members of the union had still not been notified about the situation. Police in Tokyo are facing the realities of what appears to be a new form of urban terrorism, the use of deadly chemical weapons. 7 people died and thousands became sick after inhaling a nerve gas that spread through the city's crowded subway system Monday morning. It's now Tuesday in Japan, and Bruce Dunning reports on the aftermath of the attack.
The trains are back on schedule this morning, but something has changed. Daiji Taniguchi says from now on he'll always be nervous riding the subway. Police are still trying to discover who carried out the gas attack that killed 7 people and sickened hundreds at the height of Monday's morning rush hour. Packages containing the lethal nerve gas sarin were left almost simultaneously on trains of 3 different subway lines. Choking and gagging, commuters poured out of subway stations, overcome by the gas. Just a whiff was enough.
Feeling okay, and then as it started coming on, my nose and my throat started hurting.
Several thousand people were hospitalized. They even had to lie on waiting room benches, so crowded were the hospitals. The Prime Minister called it unforgivable, and he promised to prevent any more such attacks. Last June, a mysterious cloud of the same lethal gas enveloped a suburban neighborhood. 7 people died. The case has never been solved. Now people are saying that incident might have been a dress rehearsal for this mass attack. And no one has yet claimed responsibility. That would give authorities some idea of why such a random attack was carried out. Violence and terrorism on this scale have never been problems in peacetime Japan. But now the Japanese are learning a new urban sensation, fear for their lives. Bruce Dunning, CBS News, Tokyo.
At the O.J. Simpson trial today, jurors got a close-up look at O.J.'s left middle finger, the finger the prosecution claims Simpson injured while committing the double murder. Simpson's hand trembled as he showed it to the jury. The defense was trying to show that the former football star's knuckles are always swollen. Prosecutors alleged Simpson hurt his hand at the murder scene and left a trail of blood while fleeing. A man once saved from the death penalty by former New York Governor Mario Cuomo was finally executed early this morning in Oklahoma. Thomas Grasso was convicted of killing people in both New York and Oklahoma and then became the focus of a political tug-of-war. He was sentenced to die in Oklahoma, but Cuomo would not release Grasso from his life prison sentence in New York. Grasso said he preferred to die rather than face life imprisonment, and when George Pataki replaced Cuomo as governor, he wasted no time in obliging Grasso, sending him back to Oklahoma, where he died today by lethal injection. 5 students at Plattsburgh State University were arrested today after an old fraternity tradition allegedly got out of hand. Authorities are investigating the Alpha Chi Rho fraternity for allegedly asking their new pledges to dive and roll down several steep hills. A mother of one of the pledges alerted police after her son was injured during the hazing.
Her son had called her from the emergency room, and he had suffered a broken jaw. So that prompted us to investigate.
Michael Infantolino, John King, Matthew Grasso, and Michael Wotuziak, also Andrew Burr, will all be arraigned Thursday in city court on charges of first-degree hazing. The college has also filed charges against the fraternity and 17 individuals as a result of their investigation. Still ahead on tonight's Channel 3 Late News, a dramatic rescue on Lake Champlain after 5 people were stranded on an ice floe. And fog wreaks havoc on hundreds of cars crossing an Alabama bridge.
Get 2.9 for a limited time at Dodge.
For a limited time, get as low as 2.9% financing on every new Dodge Neon in stock. That's 2.9, plus up to $1,200 off select Neons, including up to $600 to use toward your down payments.
2.9!
Whether you choose the sedan or the 150 peak horsepower Dodge Neon Sport Coupe, this is a great time to buy.
Get 2.9 for a limited time at Dodge.
Only at your participating New England Dodge dealer.
How does a kid get on the U.S. luge team? Well, every year, 9X and the U.S. luge team hold tryouts for kids all over New York and New England. Last year, 1,800 kids tried out. 25 made it to Lake Placid to train, maybe get a shot at the Winter Games in '98.
If you want to be a part of it, anyone 12 to 16 can call 1-800-USA-LUGE about a tryout. In the spring, you'll hear back about where and when.
And that's 9X right now.
The National Jeep Sale is back. Your opportunity to get a great deal on one of America's legendary adventure vehicles. Buy or lease Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo with up to $1,200 in values. Get no-charge air and option package values on Jeep Cherokee Sport. Even the fun-loving Jeep Wrangler has a great deal. So see your Jeep and Eagle dealer now, because something this exciting will be over before you know it.
See your New England Jeep and Eagle dealer now.
5 ice fishermen from Rouse's Point, New York are alive and safe tonight thanks to the quick thinking of another fisherman who rescued them from the icy waters of Lake Champlain. The men were all fishing off the shore of Rouse's Point when a large patch of ice they were standing on broke away from land.
The wind came up and separated the ice from the ice that contacted the shore, and it just blew them adrift. And when they realized that they were far enough onto the lake where they didn't want to risk swimming back, which was the wiser the move, staying with the ice, because they would not have survived.
Jim Jeffries was working at a nearby fish company when the incident took place. He quickly moved this 14-foot boat into the lake and headed for the stranded men.
Yeah, we took 2 younger guys off first and threw some life jackets to the older guys, and they waited there until I come back out and got them.
If you hadn't have gotten them, could they have survived out there, do you think?
Not if the ice started breaking up.
According to state police, some of the men could face charges for reckless endangerment. Ice fishing is especially dangerous in Lake Champlain this year because of the warm winter and the early arrival of spring. Coast Guard officials warn that ice on the lake never had time to fully form, and with an early spring, the ice is thawing sooner than usual and can be broken quite easily. The Coast Guard's policy is that no ice is safe ice. They say the warm weather makes the ice deceiving and dangerous because the ice can break at any moment.
We have the temperatures that we've been having. It should be pretty much common sense to stay off the ice, especially when you can tell the ice isn't safe the way it is right now. It's got a grayish, opaque color to it. And you can feel it when you walk on it, too, as it kind of gives at your feet.
Well, not only is the weather spring-like, but spring itself actually arrived tonight, leaving behind a winter that many will remember. Remember, not because of the cold and snow, but as Anson Tebbets tells us, because it was a winter that never really came.
It was a winter that was not kind to Vermont's ski resorts. Ski industry officials say the number of skiers on the slopes could reach a 7-year low. Business was down 14% going into February, a month that could set a record for brisk business, but it will not be enough to save the season. But it was a good year for Vermont's road maintenance budget. Crews responded to the same number of storms as last year, but it was the first full year of smart salting, a method of gauging the temperature of the pavement before applying. 83,000 tons of salt was used, down nearly 1,000 tons, but the real saving came in sand use. 34,000 fewer tons were used this year.
Now, this is significant because if you factor in the cost of the salt and the sand and the cost of spreading, I figure that we have saved very close to $600,000 this year in our winter maintenance costs.
Those that ride the snowmobile trails have seen better times. The trails quickly dried up because of lack of snow. But in the beginning, Vermonters were ready for a record snowfall.
Well, the winter didn't turn out with the amount of snow that everybody thought we were going to be. We sold a lot of snowblowers early. People were anticipating a real rough winter, I guess, from Farmer's Almanac and other various ways that people, predict what the winter is going to be. So we sold quite a few snowblowers early, and then the winter didn't turn out that great.
A sure sign of spring can be seen in the parking lot. Dozens of riding lawnmowers have made their trek north, just waiting for the green grass. The birds are here also. This winter's berry crop is getting low, and spring can't come quick enough for the cedar waxwing. Anson Tebbets, Channel 3 News, Berlin.
Foggy weather was the problem today in Mobile, Alabama, where more than 130 cars and trucks crashed in a series of wrecks on a bridge over Mobile Bay. One person was killed, 6 were critically injured, and at least 74 were taken to the hospital following the rush hour crashes on Interstate 10. The wrecked and burning vehicles were left strewn over nearly 3 miles of the 7-mile-long bridges. The main commuter route into downtown Mobile was closed for more than 6 hours as a result of that pileup. Well, coming next on the Channel 3 Late News, Laura Hogan will have your work week forecast, and another presidential hopeful announces he'll run again.
Let's see, 2.9% financing on all Accords. Have we forgotten anything? Oh, I guess you better hurry then. Go see your Honda dealer.
How does a kid get on the U.S. luge team? Well, every year, 9X and the U.S. luge team hold tryouts for kids all over New York and New England. Last year, 1,800 kids tried out. 25 made it to Lake Placid to train, maybe get a shot at the Winter Games in '98.
If you want to be a part of it, anyone 12 to 16 can call 1-800-USA-LUGE about a tryout. In the spring, you'll hear back about where and when.
And that's 9X right now.
My family got this new Grand Prix, and it has 4 doors, so each of us can have one. Even Robert. And my uncle came over in his new car and said, "This has more horsepower than my Taurus and costs less." And then he seemed mad. And Dad said our car came with airbags and anti-lock brakes. And I said, why? And he said because we had a lot of things we want to keep safe. That's why. And Mom says it's real sporty. I think that's why we really got it.
Tonight's weather is brought to you by your New England Chrysler Plymouth dealers.
Laura Hogan is here now with a check on the weather. And Laura, this weird winter is finally over.
Finally over. You've been talking weather stories through a bunch of the broadcast already. Spring did officially arrive this evening at 9:14 here in the Burlington area, but it has felt like it's been here for a while. Temperatures this afternoon climbed into the 50s. Now some showers are moving into the region. We could even see a thunderstorm here tomorrow. Let's take a look at the current conditions. Where the temperature is now is at 49 degrees. We do have a shower that has moved into the region. The relative humidity is 61%. The barometer is falling 29.67 inches, and the winds are out of the south rather strong tonight at 20 miles per hour, gusting to 26. Now let's take a look at what's going on across the Northeast. We do see a band of showers now basically throughout the Champlain Valley down to western sections of New England. This is pre-warm frontal rains moving into the region. Temperatures rather mild in the 40s. We do, however, see another band of showers through western New York State. This is going to be making its way into our region later tonight and during the day tomorrow as well. Now, the storm that's bringing the rains into our region at this hour has started out earlier across the central part of the states, now moving into the Great Lakes region. This has produced some severe weather last night in portions of Kansas and tonight from Kentucky down to portions of northern Mississippi. As a matter of fact, northern sections of Mississippi and Alabama continue under a severe thunderstorm watch this evening. They've been seeing some hefty rains with some of this as well. The rains have been changing back to snow in portions of South Dakota and also the upper peninsula of Michigan. Another strong storm moving on to the west coast this evening as well. They've been seeing strong winds in about 50 to 100 miles per hour as the storm pulled on shore. Some heavy rains in sections of Northern California changing to blizzard-like conditions up in the Sierra Nevadas. Now, when we take a look at the current surface map, we do see a warm front now pushing through much of the east coast, east of the Mississippi. Very warm southerly winds sent temperatures up into the 70s as far north as Ohio. Cleveland reached 76 degrees today. Now, we're going to be seeing some showers move into the region tonight, into tomorrow as well. We could even see some thunderstorms as this cold front crosses the region, and still some lingering showers into Wednesday behind the front while the low extends to back of the front. Let's take a look at the forecast for you for the next few days. For tonight, mostly cloudy with showers likely. Temperatures will be in the 40s. And for tomorrow, showers with a chance of afternoon thunderstorms. Highs will be in the 50s. Tuesday night, scattered showers. The chance of an evening thunderstorm. Temperatures will be dipping down into the upper 30s by that point in time. And for Wednesday, mostly cloudy with a chance of showers still lingering. Highs in the 40s. And the extended outlook through the weekend, conditions will be improving. Temperatures getting back up into the 40s. Overnight lows in the 30s. So we do have a couple of rainy days to look forward to as spring now moves into the region.
All right. Thank you very much, Laura. Still ahead on the late news, rumors of layoffs at South Burlington's INS office are apparently just rumors.
To see what's new in New England, get to Chrysler Plymouth's Big March Blowout. You'll find $1,000 cash back on every minivan, plus an extra $500 to current Chrysler minivan owners. For discounts and package values that can total $2,600 off. On Plymouth Neon, 2-door or 4-door, get up to $1,200 off. Don't miss the Big March Blowout and all the new ways to save. At Chrysler Plymouth New England, we'll show you what's new.
Seeing is believing at your Ski-Doo dealer during Spring Break 96. Buy now and get up to $500 cash towards a new 96 Ski-Doo snowmobile with no payments until February 1, 1996. Plus, get special low Spring Break pricing. Spring Break 96. See the sleds, see the deals, see your participating Ski-Doo dealer for details before it's all gone. See the new Formula 3 and Spring Break 96 deals at these tri-state Ski-Doo dealers or call 1-800-3-SKI-DOO for a dealer near you.
Think about all the new truck choices there are. Now just think of extended cabs.
Now just extended cabs available with V8 power, 4-wheel drive, and standard anti-lock brakes. Now just extended cabs available with V8 power, 4-wheel drive, anti-lock brakes, driver's side airbag, full instrumentation, aluminum wheels, high back bucket seats, tilt wheel, bed liner, power windows, AM/FM CD player, leather wrapped steering wheel, and so much more. Now we'll make it easy on you. Just think of the GMC Sierra Club Coupe. It's got it all.
Test drive a new GMC truck today at your local North Country GMC dealer.
Conservative commentator Pat Buchanan announced today that he's running for president again. Buchanan announced his bid for the Republican presidential nomination in New Hampshire, where he drew 37% of the vote in the 1992 primary. Buchanan pledged to save American jobs from being sent overseas, to beef up the nation's military, and call up the National Guard if necessary to stop illegal immigrants from entering the country. Today's announcement was briefly interrupted by protesters shouting Buchanan is a racist. House Republican leaders said today they want to level off defense spending through the end of this century. Defense spending would remain at $270 billion per year under the plan. The proposal restores cuts in the Pentagon budget proposed by the Clinton administration, but stops short of the big increases in defense spending the Republicans had been calling for. Vermont seniors groups worried over federal budget cuts joined Congressman Bernie Sanders at a press conference today. Sanders says the recent $17 billion in federal budget cuts will hurt Vermont's 70,000 seniors. And a spokeswoman for one of the seniors groups says the Republicans' contract with America breaks a contract the seniors already have.
The older people represented by COVE have a contract with America. We have the Constitution. We've counted on Medicare. We've counted on Social Security. We've counted on Medicaid if we had an unusual problem, and we've counted on the safety support programs which were fostered by the Older Americans Act, up for renewal this year in a very difficult period of time.
Vermont seniors are invited to speak out this Saturday at a conference on senior citizens issues at Montpelier High School. A top official with the Immigration and Naturalization Services says rumors of layoffs at the South Burlington branch are not true. 2 weeks ago, INS indicated it intended to cut 24 jobs in South Burlington, and workers worried that all 100 administrative jobs would go. John Schroeder is on the team reviewing the nation's 4 INS offices, and he says there are no plans to cut jobs in South Burlington. Instead, Schroeder says it's likely the office would see a 40% increase in new jobs over the next year. Sports is next on the Channel 3 Late News. John LeClaire with another chance to prove the Canadians wrong. Habs at the Flyers tonight. Bob Harwood has the details after this.
Today's the day. Get the Toyota you want and the savings you've been waiting for on Corolla. Get Corolla's spring lease for as little as $189 a month. It's the benchmark of quality for over 25 years. Or buy a Corolla DX and get the extra value option package and save up to $700. Toyota's Today's the Day sales event is on. So see your Toyota dealer and they'll make your day.
How does a kid get on the U.S. luge team? Well, every year, 9X and the U.S. luge team hold tryouts for kids all over New York and New England. Last year, 1,800 kids tried out. 25 made it to Lake Placid to train, maybe get a shot at the Winter Games in '98.
If you want to be a part of it, anyone 12 to 16 can call 1-800-USA-LUGE about a tryout. In the spring, you'll hear back about where and when.
And that's 9X right now.
When a person comes back into the store and says, hey, that product that you recommended last week, that was really great, did the trick, makes me feel good, like I've done something.
The emphasis is now on the patient, not the product.
The people I work with are all pretty much a working family as it is, so our customers are all just part of that family.
Part of your life for over 90 years, Kinney Drugs.
The faith a company has in its products is the length of its warranty. But all automobile manufacturers' limited powertrain warranties are not the same. Some run out in 3 years, some go for 4 years, some for 5 years, and 2 continue for 6 years. Volkswagen is the only one that goes for 10 years or 100,000 miles. Lease a 95 Passat GLX for $299 per month. See your local Volkswagen dealer for details.
Well, Bob, I think John LeClair always liked the Canadians, but I think he really likes them now.
Turned into a little bit of a John LeClair highlight reel, Roger. Even more than that, though, the numbers speak for themselves in this matchup. The Flyers, if you've had any doubts at all, simply won this trade. A 12-3-2 record since the swap with Montreal. The Habs, a much less than acceptable 6-9-3 before tonight's meeting at the Spectrum. It's the second meeting since the deal. That's been a steal. 1-0 Flyers, second period. The Canadians ignore John LeClair. Big mistake. You think they'd know better. Number 16 on the year for LeClair, his fourth against Montreal. Eric Lindros, player of the week last week, on his way again. His first of the night, 17th of the year. Through the downward spiral in Montreal, Mike Keane keeps on battling for the Habs. He gets the Habs on the board with the second effort in the crease, but Lindros, that's his second of the night from the bullet in close. Third hat trick of the year as Lindros pours it on. LeClair added a second goal. Kevin Dineen as well with two. 8-4 is the final. The Canadians are still awful on the road. 2 wins, 12 losses, and 2 ties. Flyers win it by that 8-4 final, and they lead the Atlantic by 6 points. Quebec back in first place, 5-4 in overtime over Florida. Owen Nolan with the game winner. Red Hot Capitals blank the Whalers. Jim Carey win number 8 in 10 games. Edmonton leads Calgary 3-1. That one in the second period of play. Day 2 of Michael Jordan's return to the NBA, and that meant practice in Deerfield, Illinois again today, where Jordan and teammate B.J. Armstrong were locked out of the gym for a few minutes tonight. That wasn't Phil Jackson's way of...
Look at that with a 5-day forecast in just a minute.